Welcome, let's check out some pedal tone licks. You might already know that a pedal point or a pedal tone is a sustained or repeated note within a phrase, and that the term actually originated from organ usage with the actual pedal. Over time, we've adopted and expanded the definition to include pivoting licks where we have a single note repeating in between ascending or descending figures, bringing together a balance of continuity and also motion. Much of Yngwie's pedal point usage in the linear sense is something called inverted pedal point because it's the highest note that functions as the pivoting point while other figures go down and back up. Let's start with a very basic inverted pedal tone form. This is in the key of A minor and it works great over an A minor triad, and the 12th fret E note on the first string acts as the pedal tone. The repeated notes are played with upstrokes and all of the in-between notes are played with downstrokes. That simple form is played in the upward escape picking path, but when we use the same notes to create a repeating figure, there will be some single notes on the B string played with a downstroke before coming back to the E string for the next upstroke. When we do that slow, it's pretty easy for the hand to bounce around a little bit coming in and out of those strings, maybe even with a bit more pick attack for emphasis. But playing at speed, there's no evidence to suggest that Yngwie is exiting the plane of the strings as he comes out of the B string on those downstrokes and back to the E string on upstrokes. So when leaving the B string and you're doing this fast, I suggest lightly raking across the strings like I did in the alternate picking exceptions in the previous module. Licks like this are most commonly played in a very graceful manner with light to medium pick attack, so you don't need to pronounce that raking as heavily as you might think. And double check the pad to tip ratio of your fretting just to make sure that every time you're playing the B string, the E string itself is actually dead quiet. Here's a variation on the shape that we've used in the last two examples. This will give you more practice with the string changes for the picking hand and also the fretting for the fretting hand. This time the scale notes between the pedal tones go down and back up. When moving the inverted pedal tone form to another one of Yngwie's favorite positions, there are going to be some fretting hand peculiarities to discuss. First, have a listen to this. Yngwie's fingering for that one is almost solely based on avoiding any interaction between the third and fourth fingers. Both these digits will take turns to fret the high F note pedal tone in between the descending notes. Here it is at a speed where you can really take in exactly what he's doing as he frets each note. This pedal tone lick sounds great over a 5 chord in a minor key or any of the diminished 7th chords that we talked about related to the dominant chord in the first theory module. To outline a perfect cadence in this A minor key, I'm going to play that dominant sounding shape and then move into one of the other shapes that sounds great over the tonic chord. Venturing further up the scale, we can use other positions in the A minor key to create extended descending inverted pedal tone sequences. To get something like that happening, it's crucial, non-negotiable to know all of the notes in the scale going down on both those strings. So let's break that down in steps so you can see what's happening. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the lesson so far. This is actually part of a 70-minute module I've created all about pedal tone licks. That's a part of Viking Shred Guitar Suite, which is the ultimate neoclassical course for technique, shred vocabulary, practice sessions, theory, mechanics, and a whole lot more. Anyway, to help you have a lot more fun with today's lesson, I've prepared a little bundle for you to download that includes the Guitar Pro and PDF tabs from the licks in this lesson, as well as a training session video and backing track of the lick called PT 1.7. Check out the link below and enjoy shredding with pedal tone licks. Okay, back to the lesson. The first block is the only one that begins on the E string, and it sounds like this. The second block goes like this. Next, we veer into familiar territory with this block. This is the one with the tricky fingerings. And we'll finish with this one. The way the phrasing works with this one, I'm thinking in 6/8 time in a rhythm like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and. So when you play in 6/8, beats 1 and 4 are the strong beats. As well as sequencing in vertical steps with adjoining patterns like that, Yngwie also likes to play this kind of sequence in diatonic thirds. Here's an example of doing that, which is quite similar to the ending of the song Eclipse, which also happens to be very similar to the intro of another song called Vengeance. To fit all 4 positions of this lick into the one key on the high E and B strings, I'm going to play it in E minor so I can start up high and then move down. Because it's played in diatonic thirds, I can put on a slow delay effect, and as I get to the second position, the first section will actually bounce back as a harmony to what I played, and then I go to the third position, and then the second position will bounce back as a harmony, and so forth. That concludes today's pedal tone session, but I've got lots more waiting for you in the course, so I hope to see you there soon. We've got two-tone upper pedal point, Icarus style, two-tone lower pedal point, Vengeance style, more practice sessions, picking tips, backing tracks, and two very cool etudes.